Talking about layers is something that's been heavily requested for a while for me. A lot of people, like, I always say, like, oh, I need to play layer 2, layer 3, play layer 1, whatever. You know that Breaking Bad meme? It's like, Jesse, what the hell are you talking about? That's basically what a lot of people reply to it with. They're just like, what is this boomer shit you're talking about? I feel like there's no better example of actually how to teach someone layers than Soul's offense. Soul's offense is one of the most kind of direct and obvious layers. Close slash, close slash, close slash. This is a common kind of offensive method, right? But you wouldn't do this against someone that... You would not do this on defense against someone that you would expect to mash down immediately, right? This is not your kind of layer one. Usually you'd want to press a sort of advantage that's based around somebody that is probably going to mash on block. That's usually how I tend to structure my layer one. So this would be a general frame trap this would be layer one. When you recognize or you've established that you will do this, then that's when you can start moving to something like layer two. It depends on how they answer you. If they answer with like a throw, then sometimes this cannot be as good, though this can also frame trap it if you're fast enough. That's more of when you do close slash 5/8, for example. The way you beat something like this is if you FD it, right? You FD everything away, right? Because then if you do this, see, this does not work. So, in this sort of interaction, this is more along the lines of when you do more greedy things like this, right? Like dash up, dash up, dash up, dash up. Essentially, this is the way you get people to feel incentivized to press a button. Same with, like, if you run offense against someone that just does not want to press the button in general. Think of it less about what they're like specifically doing and more about put it down into just kind of directions or interactions of, are they gonna block? If they're gonna block, then, you could go for throw, or you could be a bit more greedy with your offense. Usually this is not as greedy as going for a throw, because usually if this gets interrupted, it's going to be something smaller, whereas if they jump or if they backdash this, it could be a big punish, right? So essentially, when I run offense, and let's say if I do this, I'm expecting them just to mash. This is kind of the expectation that a lot of people tend to build off of, right? You can kind of vary it however you like, however you sort of whatever you put weight into. Like, for example, again, if they're blocking, I would usually more go for strikes than throws. But of course, like, it's not terrible to throw. It depends on your kind of comfort level, right? You have to expect that, like, this is not something you do with like, oh, they're just gonna block forever. You do this to force them to do something, right? Another great example of this is if you throw someone like 3 times in a row, the odds of them pressing something after the 3rd throw is pretty high, right? And I know that you all know this because you'll get thrown 3 times and you'll be like, all right, this shit's getting annoying. I'm getting tired of this. Get this meme shit out of here. Sometimes you do the option in layer 1, not just because it's powerful, but because you are directly leading them into layer 2. A lot of the time, the threats of things are not in necessarily plus frames, right? In this game, it's not really about plus frames, it's about the threat. This is also how, if you've ever seen me play Happy Chaos, you'll see sometimes I do close slash, close slash, close slash, and like people will not press, even though close slash is like -2, right? Because there's a lot of threat. Think of it more about the sort of problems that they may feel or experience and what they'd want to go into. Usually the best way to do this is you want to have kind of a safe option after too. Even if I do close slash and a close slash, usually the more you do something, the more they're probably gonna be like, they're just gonna be like, fuck it, I'll just press something, right? It's rare that somebody will end up holding something like this forever because they'll just think like you're memeing on them, right? Sometimes it does happen, but usually I would do like, 2 or 3 and then just go in with my frame trap. In this game, repeated close slash pressure is really strong because it also adds a lot of risk, right? I feel like it's hard to get people to respect them. Well, if you're doing just like, close slash 6k, close slash delay 6s, then that will just kill them, right? Because they're not reacting to like the second like close slash about to come out, right? It's a gamble. It's them predicting that you're going to not cancel it. Usually, if you struggle at this sort of thing, then that means you just need to delay your Gatlings more. This is essentially the idea. So like, let's say if they mash after like every close slash, right? Like, see, that will win. But if you delay your 6s, they die. right? This is why delay cancels are so important. In fact, if you don't delay your cancels like heavily a lot of the time, you're kind of not even taking advantage of your character's offense. And that's like a big part of honestly understanding layers and going from there. When you do things like this, it will incentivize them not to mash, right? It will make them not want to do it, which means it enables you to start going for things like close slash run up throw, right? Which is the key, right?